the revenue. First of all, I want to thank the people of which is what we'd have gotten if we didn't have the unrest last week, the final week of the financial year. But we were able to at least get to 12.8. There are days that we went as low as 10 million, and a week where we should be collecting 85 million shillings a day. And those are the resources that really are for serving the people of Nairobi. And so I want to thank our people. Our young people have expressed themselves. They've expressed themselves loudly. The freedom to express themselves is something that I've said repeatedly. I said 2 weeks ago when I was in Kiumbuini, groundbreaking for the new stadium, that is a sacrosanct right that needs to be protected, and we should not suppress it at all. We should allow people to express themselves. Unfortunately, a lot of those were infiltrated, by goons. They burnt City Hall, they burnt Parliament, they went into installations that they should not have gone to. And you could see a clear distinction between the Gen Z who are really expressing their opinions on matters of governance vis-a-vis those who are mugging people and robbing people. I saw a clip on Tuesday of alleged goons coming out of City Hall, which I asked that to be investigated. I myself was in the coast. We've been there for the whole week with our cabinet, just doing our end of year retreat and replanning for this new financial year. The financial year ends in June, and I would hate it that something like that would have been planned from City Hall, from wherever it is. Normally when you're in such a situation, the first casualty is the truth. And when the first casualty is the truth, opportunistic politicians even try to bring themselves into such, a move to taint their opponents, And so if somebody would try to claim that I, the governor, was meeting people to plan violence in City Hall, while one, I was in Diani, number one, with my cabinet from Sunday. I've just come back this morning. And number two, I have always believed in siasa safi. I've always believed in that freedom of expression, even when it is not within my political side of the equation. You remember a few years ago, I released, or rather I sought the release of an opposition politician who was incarcerated, and that was because he had insulted the president, because I believe people should express themselves. And so, and anyone, would try to make it look like it's you by doing it from City Hall, If you were to do such a thing, you would not do it in plain sight, and from where you work, you would not do it that way. And so I really condemn that. I condemn those who hurt other young people, those who destroyed businesses. We have buildings that burnt in the city. At some point, these people were preventing our fire engines from coming out of the fire station on Tomboya Street, and that is why some of those buildings really went down. And I want to thank the young people, because you have seen, you saw the Senate yesterday, we saw the stance that now leaders are taking, that it has created an opportunity for deep reflection and action by government. I was very happy to see people refusing vehemently salary increments. That has never happened in the Republic of Kenya. And really we need to be prudent in our use of these resources, because the leadership is a trust from the people on their behalf.
All right, so Governor, 2 questions from me. One of them is the extent of the damage at City Hall and how much that is going to cost the county to repair, and also what is the county going to do to help those businesses that were looted during this protest?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Is it true that you have provided ground for the GMPs to do some contract in order, and then too, the president is proposing some cuts, budget cuts, including the money going to the county?
Yeah.
I don't know what your take on this.
Thank you. The damage at City Hall, our insurance provider is assessing the extent of that damage. Fortunately, we have insured all our properties. You saw that they also burnt down our mobile recording studio. There's a 40-foot mobile recording studio that was at Urupak, costing I think around 60-something million shillings. That goes around and to the different sub-counties. It was burnt down. It was also insured, fortunately. So there's no additional cost on us as a county or on taxpayers. The damage to businesses, it becomes very difficult to quantify because they also have their arrangements. We'd love to support, and I'm sure you saw even during this protest. So we had our ambulances all across the city, our medics. I waived all the fees at our public hospitals, that is Mbagathi, Mama Lucy, Pumwani, Mutuini, and all the facilities of the county. We've gotten those reports from our CEOs, not because we are supporting protests, but because we acknowledge the right of expression that is sacrosanct in our constitution. It is true, I have received a request for a concert, a peace concert, to be done at Uhuru Park. I see no problem with it, because if it is that genuine expression, it is good. You know, first of all, Uhuru Park belongs to Kenyans and Nairobians. It doesn't belong to me. I am just a steward over that resource. I know it is currently an active crime scene. I hope the DCI will conclude. It is very fortunate that we have CCTV footage from City Hall of those who came and burnt it down. I've seen frivolous accusations, you know, but those who are caught on camera, you know, so one of them works in an MP's office in Nairobi. One of them works in an MP's office. They'll have to answer. The MP who sent them or the politicians who sent them will actually have to answer for that damage to public property. You know, it is not. Fortunately, again, you know, the fire didn't damage a lot of you know, records because we are digital. Our county, everything is digital. Payments are digital. We store it in the cloud and in our servers. But just that act of a symbol of authority that belongs to the people of Nairobi being attacked in that manner was completely unfortunate, and it was wrong. And so we will still support that expression. That concert is in honor of young people who we lost, people who died. It is good to honor them and their families and really see what support we can give to them. Personally, I will attend, you know, because these are my constituents. These are residents of Nairobi. People who got hurt, some who are not even involved in either breaking the barriers of parliament or in looting. It's very sad for us. You know, it's very sad. For me, I understand this generation. I'm not a Gen Z, I'm a millennial, you know, but I understand that things cannot be business as usual for us in the city. And so I think that's that for now. Let's keep encouraging that leaders must listen. We must hear what these people are telling us. You know, they don't want to see wastage. They don't want to see corruption. You've been with me in this Senate sitting where you've seen just a small expression of that kind of hypocrisy that I'm talking about. You know, that you pretend that you're oversighting, yet you have an interest that is a business interest, you know, but you want to look like an angel. We must be honest with each other, and we must be honest as a country. And the young people of this country are not willing to see their country just go by. So just be assured of our support. We'll again have our medics and our ambulances and our fire engines there. Please let's not allow the torching of such equipment, because it is by taxpayers' money that we are able to provide these services for Nairobi. We've discussed the challenges that we have and the opportunities and the hope that we're seeing in the coming year. I'm very happy that, you know, in the last 2 years we've been able to employ more than 3,500 of these young people in the Green Army. We've employed another 1,000 as constables. And based on the limits that we have, you know, we're doing our best. That today, even despite the harsh economic times, every child in a public primary school is assured of a meal. You know, we're feeding 200,000 children every day at 5 shillings. And third term, as we conclude the next 7 kitchens, we'll be feeding 316,000 children. You know, those are things that also bring hope that every cloud has a silver lining and our country is going somewhere.
So, Governor, maybe what